All right, you guys, I want you to try this combination for your back. What I want you to do is get a nice hip hinge here, keep your back nice and flat, butt back. And I want you to pull the bar right down just above your knees, and then get a little hold down here. Down, squeeze, and back up. Okay, do that 6 times, and then from there, what I want you to do is walk back a little bit, right? Keep your knees bent, and then pull to the top of your chest. I got the mic right there, so I don't want to hit it, but try to actually hit your chest with the bar, and then squeeze your shoulder blades, okay? Do that one 6 times. Squeeze, keep those elbows pretty darn high, just like that. And then I want you to go into the middle, put 1 foot forward, get nice and tall, and then pull her down right to about chest level. See that? This is mostly a stretch, but it's some resistance strengthening. If you want to from here, you could also do a press and reach. This just feels so good. All right, so if you have the 1 unit, obviously this is what the setup looks like. Both bands are connected to the top ring, hip hinge, take it down, works just as well. All right, take a step back, pull and squeeze, right? And then you pop it in, just like so, and down. Big stretch, and down. All right, you guys, you gotta try this combination if you have a pro setup. Here's what it looks like. Brace yourself with your lower body. I want you to keep your arms pretty straight. We're gonna do a low fly, right? So it's gonna start low, and we're gonna come up and in, right? Really squeeze the middle of that chest. I want you to do 6 of these. By the way, I'm connected on the 5th ring up for me. Might be the 4th one up for you if you're a little bit shorter. Get a little squeeze at the end there. And then I'm gonna do a press from here, right? About right in front of my mouth for 6. Okay, and this is why these units have to be pretty far apart. That way these bands don't rub me. They are just a little bit. Now I want you to take a step back, right? And this really burns it out. We're gonna do 6 more like this. Now it looks like it's a shoulder move, but it's a lot of upper chest, right? Especially after those other 2. 3, 4, 5, get that squeeze at the top, and 6, all right? So if you don't have a pro, here's what you can do. You can do a fly first from the side. This is, even if you do have the pro, you wanna mix these in sometimes. This is so tough. You guys know I like to work the chest from the side. So there's 3, 4, get a little hold there, 5, 6, and then bend your elbow and come up. Try to avoid rotating here. We're working our chest. You wanna stay like this. You can even put this foot in front if you need to. Okay. Man, it's getting hard. Then lastly, turn your hand like this and then press it up. I better scoot in a little bit. Man, those 3 together are so tough. That pec and that shoulder there, just gonna be on fire. This also translates to, your sport. All right, you guys, I want to do commentary on this hip series that you've seen me do a bunch of times. Maybe you'll pick up something new. Basically, I've got my ankle strap on somewhat loose, right? I'm just going to do, I typically would do 8 to 20 of these, right? Swing it out. And then from here, I like to actually raise the knee. Okay, this is much tougher than it looks because my stabilizing leg has to work really hard here. This is really pulling me in. I want you to be careful with this. You may want to hold on here. And then you do a step, right? This is all lateral work. We call it abduction muscles, right? I like to step behind. And then, of course, the typical glute kicks. You can do these a couple different ways. You go here. I like to stagger my stance a little bit and then take it here. That's more glute medius. You stagger your stance here a little bit. And of course, for speed, you want to do more of this drive. You guys see me do a lot. So what you can do from there is the inner thigh, right? So you have a couple options. You can either walk to that side and get closer to you guys. I'm going to do it over here, past the soccer ball. This is all adduction work. And you want to step with this too, right? Or you can physically touch each time. It's really important you do this one where you lift the knee. You're gonna really feel this in your groin region. So tough, right? From here, turn it around, knee up, a lot of hip flexor, flex that quad, raise the toe, tons of quads here, right? And then, oh yeah, hamstrings. Turn it around, try to keep this knee back with the other knee, squeeze and back down, right? So you'll get the hang of it. You'll just start working your way around this series. So good, then you switch legs. All right, you guys, check out all this shoulder variety you can get just from, I'm about the 4th ring up here. In a yellow band, I'm going light because shoulders will burn you out. They're so tough. I want you to face the wall first and just do front raise. Do like 5 or 6. I like moving around and changing angles because I just like variety. I get bored. So now it's a lateral, more of a lateral move, right? Try to keep facing forwards. Then finally, I want you to push it back from here. This is more rear deltoid, all right? Obviously, you want to do the other arm, but then what you can do is turn sideways and go high, right? It gets tough in a hurry, and then mid, and then finally you can bend over and take it out like so. It's gonna build such a strong shoulder there. Lastly, what I want you to do is turn around, right? And take it up from here. This really isolates lateral head of that deltoid. Okay. Now, if you want to do some presses from here, this is a pretty light press. You can go presses straight up from here. That feels really good. There's nothing wrong with going light, guys. Maybe you want to do 30 or 40 of these. It's a great burn. But save some energy because it gets hard. Then you do a press right from here. This is definitely a harder press than that first one. You think it'd be easier, but it's harder, in my opinion. You can walk up a little bit, press here. So it's a ton of shoulders. Okay, a little bit of chest with this press. You could also kind of roll it up. That's the cool thing about these bands. They just follow you around and you just feel your body getting tougher and tougher. This is a great move for tennis players. All right, guys, when it comes to arms, a lot of people focus on their biceps, but in reality, the triceps make up 3/4 of the upper arm mass. Not to mention, I just feel like they get jiggly sooner than the biceps. So maybe we should focus more on triceps. So a good tricep combination is this. What I want you to do is get nice and tall. And again, I always want you to be strong in your posture. Sometimes people go up and they do triceps and they look weak, right? So everything you do, I want you to have a good posture. I always kind of push the butt back and stand tall and sort of flex my core here. And then what I'm gonna do is push right down and squeeze 90 degrees and squeeze. Now I kind of put my wrist on top of the bar, if that makes sense. So I'm not like this where it goes through my fingers. I wanna get some leverage here and then really squeeze at the bottom. And if you wanna make it really hard on yourself, you guys could hold it down here and do like a really slow eccentric move up and then take it back down again. So tough, right? So a variation of that is to get in a little closer, put your hands underneath now and try to take it down. I don't love this move. It just feels a little bit funky to me, but every now and again I'll mix this in just for some variety. I tend to like this underhand grip better with a handle, personal preference. So then what I want you to do, by the way, you can also do this, of course, if you have the Pro. I just like showing the single unit sometimes. This is what's called a skull crusher, but don't worry, it's not gonna crush your skull. As long as you have a good grip, I want you guys to put your thumbs all the way around the bar, right? Get athletic in your stance and go to the top of the head and back. Again, there's no reason to take a risk in having go towards your nose or your mouth. And even if you want to, you could totally tuck your head, that's fine. Get a big squeeze. If you need a little more tension, you go out. Squeeze those triceps. So those three together, man, shake it out, run through it 2 or 3 times. Just won't believe how good it feels. Here's a straight bar biceps and forearm series that you're gonna love. You can do it with 1 unit or 2. I'll show you guys with the 1 unit. Basically, what I want you to do is get your elbows in tight, right? Staying nice and athletic, like we always do. Bring the bar up, squeeze, and back down. I try to tell people, avoid taking a bar to your face, and same holds true with cable machines. All right, you never want the chance that something could break and you hit yourself in the face. So I always think about taking it more like to my chest, okay? So hands right underneath there. Now, hands on top. It's more forearm, see that? Squeeze. Cool thing is too, if you need more resistance, you scoot back a little bit. If you need less, scoot in, like with these forearms. So I'm gonna go right into a little forearm curl here. It's starting to burn. You wanna flip it over. This is about the only time I really want you to be okay with taking your thumbs and not wrapping your thumbs around the bar. It's pretty dangerous otherwise, especially with overhead presses and things. You always want to wrap your thumb. But when it comes to wrist curls, it's fine. Now, I'm going to finish with some curls, one of my favorites, these preacher curls. So what you want to do, go down to here if you've got the mobility to do this. It's pretty hard just to get here. And my elbows are just off my knees. You see that? Squeezing again. I'm not taking this to my mouth. Taking it, I'd rather hit myself in the neck, okay? But don't worry, nothing's going to happen. But man, that is such a good squeeze there, especially after all those other ones. So you want to do probably 6 to 10 reps on everything there. Shake it out and then go through it again 2 to 3 times. You won't believe the pump you get. The pump.